revolution will be live.
Black Panther, directed by Ryan Coogler, is the newest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The movie stars Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan and is about the character T'Challa, who, after the tragic events of Civil War, returns home to be crowned King of Wakanda. Before seeing this movie, we stayed away from all kinds of trailers and marketing, so we didn't experience any of the buzz or hype surrounding the film. But after seeing the movie in theaters, I have to say that this is probably one of my favorite entries in the MCU, and one of the most important movies they've ever created.
Black Panther doesn't follow the usual Marvel movie formula. It's less about the action and spectacle and more about the characters and message throughout the story. It's a creative blend between superhero and spy flick, but is also emotional, complex, and shockingly relevant, expertly blending political commentary into the narrative with a lot of subtlety and layers, elevating the content within the story. The movie portrays a nation with unmatched wealth and technology, choosing to hide in secret behind barriers instead of sharing their knowledge and resources with less fortunate countries. Wakanda is free of Western colonization. The country's resources are unplundered, its traditions untampered, and cultural heritage completely realized. Despite all of this, I never felt like the contemporary politics were bashing me over the head. It organically plays out throughout the movie and is something that the characters question within themselves. And a lot of this is triggered by the appearance of the film's primary antagonist, Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan. Killmonger is such a great villain and is now probably my favourite Marvel villain so far. He is complex and sympathetic, less big baddie that needs to be taken down, and more this is a conversation that needs to be had. We see where he's come from and how he has been raised. We see the struggle that is experienced by others like him growing up in America. I can completely understand his point of view and almost agree with what he's trying to accomplish. And he causes the other characters within the movie to reflect on their way of living and forces a positive change in their development.
The other performances throughout this movie are also great, with scene-stealing moments appearing often. T'Challa's sister was especially enjoyable to watch, and a lot of the comedic moments come from this character. The humour in Black Panther is great, and the movie does a good job in not overdoing it. And Chadwick Boseman overall plays a very likeable hero here. I do feel though that he made more of an impact with his appearance in Civil War. However, watching his character cope with the dual roles of King and Protector of Wakanda was compelling. And on the topic of Wakanda, the world and culture are fascinating and very well realised. The world building in this movie is excellent and makes everything seem real. And learning about the history of the land and its people felt less like exposition throughout the movie, and more like we were discovering it ourselves. I hope we get to learn more about Wakanda in future movies.
The action sequences in this film are few and far between, as the focus is placed on other components of the movie, but when they do happen, they are quite stunning and exciting. However, there were a few scenes which I feel were a bit too dark, and it made it unclear at times what exactly was happening on screen. The costume design, armors, weaponry, and cultural aesthetics all looked great, but unfortunately some of the special effects at times looked unpolished. Never enough to take anything away from the story though. The thing I liked most about the movie, aside from how well the characters have been written, is how tight and focused the setup is. And what I mean by that is the movie introduces things, or a character would point out and question something, which ends up coming up later in the film and playing a much larger role than expected. I feel like the movie never introduces anything unless it's vital to the narrative or the world it's created.
The deep themes are commendable, and the message of global unity, while still celebrating our unique cultures, stands tall, even after the credits are over. I really think this movie elevated the comic book genre. We both give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Comment below what you thought of the movie, and if you want to see more, join the crew and click that subscribe button. See you next time.
See